See? Yeah? I don't know, somewhere in there. I'll have to look in a second. It's not very exotic.
Yeah. Hey, good evening, Alana, sound check.
Hey, you guys sound good.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Great.
Yeah.
This is how it looks from this side.
That's
hey?
right.
I was looking at Andrew, I was like,
No,
what's happening to
So
our picture?
Andrew's going to join by Zoom.
Yeah, I just saw Andrew. He was in the waiting room when I was there.
Yeah, well, I just got home from, he's been working on the road all day, so.
Yeah. Just need.
This can't be,
Yes.
oh, is this quorum? No.
No. Well, it is quorum, but,
Is Maggie coming?
yep. She will be here in 2 minutes and Hans will be here in 4. Right?
Yeah.
She gets here 1 minute too and Hans gets here 1 minute after.
Okay. Feel like this has been done a few times.
What am I logged into?
I just thought since.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
That must have been remembered me from last time.
Do you wanna
Is that the ballot box?
share,
No, that's our time capsule.
Alana,
Share the screen?
That's
are you able, as we get into the
For
meeting, are you able
For
to,
the
sorry, I'm looking at your microphones over.
$300.
Are you,
Buy something like that. what it
share
costs,
the
$5,000.
reports
So,
on the
I
screen?
can try. I've never done that on here, but I'll give it a go.
I can do it.
like,
Just
Yeah,
okay,
that's
first,
cheaper.
before I ask you, do you have 2 computers or 1?
I just have one.
Okay, so then we'll do it from here, or else it'll get really difficult for you with minutes and that kind of stuff and sharing.
Oh, okay.
Trisha's gonna do it. Just because that's what's happened, I'll ask the printed copies here. Seem to have, we've only got every second page possibly is.
even in those ones?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
one.
Oh, for you guys, if it's easier for, we've killed the
I
big
don't have
trees.
computers there.
That's.
Missing, we're missing the rest of the agenda. There's about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, it's only every second page.
Oh, guys, Joe, you're just staff now. Just generic.
Yeah.
You're generic.
It was actually just put me. Oh, she put me in the top first.
Just generic employee. Employee number 1549.
I thought there was one that you've already got a bunch.
Did that work for you, Joe? Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, well, that should be okay for me if you'd like me to do that.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thanks, Alana.
Yeah, no problem. You'll just have to let me know if somebody comes or goes, because I won't be able to see the room.
Okay, I will.
Is that on your screen?
This is actually on Alana's screen, but that is what is on my screen too.
Just if she chooses the got it, it'll take that dialogue away. There we go.
Always interesting looking at this.
Did you work with a lot of those folks?
Well, Stephen, yes, and yes. I don't know that I ever,
Bill?
well, you know, see, the one thing is that just because someone's mayor doesn't mean they'd be the regional district director,
Oh,
because it can be just a councillor.
right. Hi, sir.
How you doing? How are you doing? What, we got rec meeting?
Rec meeting first, and service committee.
Good. Perfect. You sure you don't want that here?
No, my jacket's right there. I'm good.
Take the comfy chair.
I mean, time and flies, I got a big butt.
No, that's what I always do.
We're all hooked up?
We are all hooked up.
Okay.
Plan is online.
Okay.
Ready to take off.
Good. Oi, 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 oi. Okay, you have an agenda, you said. You don't have it.
Well, I can give you an agenda as long as you're okay with every second page. Imagine-
Yeah, we don't have.
Imagining every second page.
Just gotta pretend it's there.
Yeah, so there's the first page of the agenda. Then you imagine. The first page of the minutes. Then you use your imagination. It's part of our stay young routine.
Good. Sounds okay to me. Yeah. Okay, where's,
And it's just, actually printing full version of.
Okay, we'll let her do that.
Yeah.
Unless you want to start, see, it, I'm gonna be finished by the time she gets back.
That would be efficient, eh?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, all in favor of adjourning, great.
That's right.
I can throw that agenda back up whenever you'd like. Yeah.
When Diana comes back in.
Okay.
My question, is Tia Whaling related to Terry Whaling?
Yeah, did you hear that question?
Tia, are you related to, I'm sorry,
Hey, Maggie.
I taught with Terry Whaling many years ago. Any relation?
Well, I married into the Whalings. So
Okay.
my husband is a Whaling and Terry is I guess my husband Tom, his father's cousin.
I got it. Okay, really
Yeah.
nothing. When they say, what's in the name, now we know.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Terry.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, no, piano.
No pressure on Tom to get, but he's.
There's quite a few Whalings in the Castlegar and Salmo area.
That's
I
right.
just did 3. And it's gonna be even more confusing because they double-sided, so we'll share.
Thanks. There we go.
Welcome to your last
Hi,
night.
Margaret.
See, come on. That in your car.
Yes.
Oh, it.
Get it all done before you go.
Double
So
divided.
that one is,
South.
it, 4 and 5, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, double sided is
Oh,
south.
No, it didn't, no, but, oh, okay. Oh, I got you. So you gotta go here, and then you go here, got you. Yep,
Joe,
and then you gotta flip a page.
It's attached, you guys. I'm reporting back. I'm reporting back to the chair. So, yes, the Salmo committee was able to do this.
Hold
It will
on.
be on there,
Yeah.
that's also helpful.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
I
will
just
be
need the
helpful.
agenda.
Thank you.
That's what I need.
Here, call the meeting to order. Pen and glasses, call the meeting to order.
3. And this one, okay. Okay, so let's call the meeting to order. It's 7:06. We acknowledge and respect the indigenous people within whose traditional lands we're meeting today. It's really confusing. The agenda for the February 9th meeting be adopted as circulated in its massive confusion.
Page 3 to page 6.
Anyone want to move
Oh,
that?
I got you. Oh, no, these are,
I don't know, I haven't seen it.
I'll move adoption of the agenda.
This is the agenda, so we would have all got it.
Yeah.
Email.
Good.
Do anyone else?
Second.
Yeah. All in favor or any questions, any additions? Andrew, I cannot see you. Can you get rid of that X for me, Joe?
Turn it on.
Oh,
Make sure that
There
you can hear us. Andrew, can you hear us? Okay, perfect. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Carried. Okay, so the receipt of the January 19th minutes. Anybody see any corrections on that? I looked at them again to say they look totally fine. There's no delegation. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the Salmo programming update.
Through the chair, good evening. I apologize if you hear anything in the background. I've got some figure skating routines happening in the living room with some sock sliding and single axles. All right, so the programming report for Salmo is more of an overview of sort of how the year went. If we look at the service delivery at a glance, one of the main things that pops out is that while general admission and pass scans weren't necessarily super high throughout the first half of the year, it really started to climb into the last part of the year, and as of fall really skyrocketed. Some of that is due to the change in hours that we may have that we did in the fall, including the after school times, as well as making the choice to continue with the later hours. So that was really, really great to see. In aquatics, because I don't know that I actually did a proper overview of what happened in aquatics, we did serve 58 total registrants in our regular public swim lessons, and 24 of those were actually new participants that didn't take lessons last year. So that was really a positive note to see. And in recreation, our drop-in pickleball is really up, and that's probably a large contributor to some of the increase in use that we're starting to see in the facility. 40% more in attendance with 196 visits that we saw in 2025. In programming financials, there wasn't anything that really stood out. You know, camps remained a staffing challenge for 2025, and I think we're going over that a little bit later as to talk about how SVYCC is going to take over that service delivery. And we had our hunting courses that were offered and very well attended, but only in certain seasons. So we're going to be moving forward in 2026 with more concentrated season as to when we're going to be offering those courses. In user fees, we saw 300 people more in 2025 than we did in 2024. And as you can see from the graph, you know, we took a little bit of a dip in the spring, but then made up for it in the fall, and we're continuing to see these numbers increase. So having extra use in our facilities is a very good sign.
And yeah, through
Yes.
just a note that I was just with Sam, and she reports that it definitely is. She sees it right now. It seems to be getting busier and busier, is what Sam had indicated to me when I visited her tonight.
Oh, and I will add something that is new for this year. The high school has purchased passes for some of their students that are going to use the gym during daytime hours. I think it's only between 8 and 10 students that come during the day to use the facilities. Because obviously Salmo, the high school doesn't have gym facilities. This is a really nice option for them to be able to do and use the facility during the day. So that will contribute to increased use as well in 2026. So as we get into our next steps and timelines, aquatics and training will continue to move forward with the offerings that we've done in the past, improving alignment with our program offerings as best we can. Obviously, staffing, we're trying to get the kind of staffing that we hope and have the people certified to come and oversee the pool. In fitness, we want to continue offering regional fitness certifications so that we can have more available fitness instructors. As we know, Laura is sort of transitioning herself away from RDCK operations and focusing a little bit more on SVYCC. And continue to keep attention to those admission numbers to see if that trend continues upward for 2026. Thank you, and if you have any questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, thank you so much. Through the chair, thank you for the report. I'm just curious, when you said the high school is using the gym, do you mean the gymnasium or the fitness center?
Sorry, yes, I misspoke. It's the fitness center that they're coming to use.
Great, thank you.
Andrew, did you have a question? No. I thought I saw it now, sorry. It's such a big Hollywood square up there. Anybody else have anything? I have a question to you. For the because we increased, so we tried to change the hours where we took away and then we brought it back. And I know that Sam's very diligent at figuring who's coming when. Did we see a big uptake in the students coming during that hour that we brought? Was it a good value of money, or did we only see a couple? Do we know?
Yeah, through the chair, it was a modest uptake of students. It wasn't low, but they weren't breaking down the door to get in, if that's what you're trying to get at. There is a modest uptake. I think with the high school putting a little bit more focus on use of the fitness center as well, will hopefully get the students in there on a more regular basis as well.
Okay, so we're gonna stay with those hours then? Is that the plan then?
Yeah, so through the chair, when I talked to Sam tonight, she provided me with this, which I've given to Trish. So Sam's got a very good head count method going on, Tia. And what she said to me about the 3 o'clock is that sometimes people aren't right there at 3 o'clock, but she has, and sorry, I'm going to say anecdotally wrong, but that her experience is that people are coming, definitely starting earlier And that is attracting new, actually,
Okay.
not just youth, but actually some
Other people.
adults as well.
Good. That's what we wanted to make sure, that we weren't wasting that time, right? That there wasn't just for a couple of people. Okay? Okay, we'll move on. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll do customer experience project, and I believe Trish, you're doing this.
I am, thank you, through the chair. So, for those that attend the all rec meeting, this has been a topic of conversation, for probably about 10 months. And I couldn't recall actually if I specifically spoke about it at this commission meeting. So my apologies if we did not. But just to give you a bit of a brief on what this project was in about this time last year, we started this customer experience project largely to try to gauge where we're at with our customer experience for people, and trying to do this as a bit of a litmus test, but also do a bunch of training with our staff teams around customer experience initiatives, and bringing them all together and uniting them around a couple of key themes. So one was providing the same type of experience across all of our facilities, making sure that we actually did an exercise where we developed something called a service promise, which has been a really interesting project to actually have everybody kind of come together and define what they want the customer service promise to be for the district. And then actually do this baseline survey that we launched for 4 weeks in the fall. So it was open from October 21st to November 21st. And we had 1,635 people respond. And then what we've done is break the survey responses down into each of the various areas. So this is specifically information related to the Salmo and Area G Recreation Commission. So of those 1,635 responses, 51 of those, or 3% of the responses, came specifically from this area. When we, in the survey, did anybody get a chance to participate in it? So in the survey, there was several kind of questions where you would rank something on a scale of 1 to 5, whether you strongly agree or strongly disagree with something. And then there were 2 opportunities for you to provide open-ended either stories or an experience that you wanted to share. And then people were also encouraged to say, well, when you go to these spaces and you're providing your feedback, what is it that you have participated in, so we could better gauge where people's feedback was coming from. So in Salmo, and this is probably no surprise, but the respondents identified that they were providing their customer experience information from their participation in the fitness center or gymnasium. And that was 42 mentions. And then for drop-in or community programs, so such as some of the things that Tia was talking about, there were 13 mentions, 12 related to the pool, and then 4 related specifically to the fitness classes, or some other activity that they might have been doing. So in this case, some people talked about the arena or ice sports. So it could be somebody that identified this as their primary area, but may have participated in a service elsewhere. So that's where it kind of gets a little bit confusing. But it was just great to see 51 people take time to provide some feedback on this service. And what you should be really pleased about is Salmo's responses were highly positive, and it was really nice to see. And I think staff were it really warmed their hearts to the efforts that they put in to welcome people. So in the satisfaction indicators, we asked people based on our service promise how much they agreed or disagreed with elements of our service promise. So we had in this area, 92.1% indicated that they strongly agree that when they visit the spaces that they identified, that they felt respected, welcomed, and heard, with 0% strongly disagreeing and only 2% disagreeing. When it came to the level of care, attentiveness, and overall service provided by staff, 86.3% indicated they were very satisfied or satisfied, with again 0 indicating that they were dissatisfied and 2% indicating that they were dissatisfied. And then 80.4% indicating that they were very satisfied or satisfied with the clarity and helpfulness in our communications that we received from staff. So whether that was on the phone, through any of our promotional materials, or in some other means of communication, with again, 0 indicating that they were very dissatisfied, and only 0.9 indicating that they were dissatisfied at all.
You pay any of these people?
No, we did not pay any of the people.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It sure sounds like, well done, good.
Yeah,
Congratulations to our staff and everyone else involved.
but very much so. And it was, in the analysis, we had a chance to sort of like dig into it a little bit more, trying to based on some of the open-ended questions that people responded or information that they provided. So when it came to, cared for, respected, and heard, it was very clear that Salmo, demonstrates exceptionally strong results in this particular indicator, and that, participants overwhelmingly felt welcomed and respected, reflecting on the close-knit community-based nature of the facility, which again should probably be no surprise to you, but it was just nice to see it reflected in the responses. Care and attentiveness was definitely a clear strength for Salmo. Obviously, the very high satisfaction rates certainly made it noted where participants feel very supported and cared for when they come to the facility. Communication, this is interestingly across the district, is the lowest ranked one on all of them, even though it's still relatively high in comparison. It is definitely where communication is positive, it's where there's still opportunities for clarifying information, because the minute, I'm sure this is no news to you either, the minute you disrupt somebody's recreation experience where they're excited to come to something and suddenly either the pool's closed or piece of equipment isn't working or something happens and they don't know when they get there, that is a very large source of frustration for people. And so finding ways for us to either figure out how to improve our communication related to that, to even increase that rating above 80% is certainly a goal for us. And then finding ways to figure out, not so much in Salmo, but it has peaked a little bit in this particular service where people want to know when it's quieter. There are some people that like to know that these are your busy times. And for those that go to these facilities often, it's pretty common that after school and on weekends or evenings are often your busy time. But people actually want to know that that's actually the case so that they can make a choice to come at that time. And if they have the flexibility, they might come at an alternate time if they like a quieter moment. So those little things that what we think is important to communicate, this actually gave us some new tools and ideas to continue to improve that. When it came to some of the recommendations of things to definitely make sure we pay attention to and hold on to, is to really protect that personal and welcoming service culture. So that is something we'll be talking to staff about to remind them how important that is. Communicating schedule and availability changes clearly and early where we can, and continuing to reinforce attentiveness during those peak times, as we've just talked about. So over the course of the next 9 to 10 months or so, we're continuing to do our staff training. We've established a host of various goals related to continuing to enhance our customer experience training for staff. And then part of this project is actually to then go back to the community in the fall and say, of the efforts we made, did we improve on that? Are people paying more attention to it? Is there more information we can gather to kind of continue to enhance our customer experience, not just in Salmo, but actually in all facilities across the district? So this was just unique to Salmo's and thought you might be interested in hearing about it.
Any questions?
Yep, thank you. I think it's terrific. What might be, I don't know if it's worthwhile putting in, but I'm gonna mention it. What about putting in the general age group of people that are there at a certain time too? I'm only saying that because I know that kids very often like to be in the other kids are, and of course, older people generally like to be in the other.
Wider.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Huh? And if it's possible, if we can just in general groups, 45 to 90, 20 to 45 and 0 to 20, something like that. Just very general groups.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you for that report.
You're welcome.
We'll move on to the service budget review. Joe's last budget here.
Yeah, so S225, which is on the screen right now, is actually is exactly the same as our previous presentation. Next one is S230. This one has changed.
That's the rec commission.
So S230, and Andrew, I'll just try and tell you what I'm looking at. But I'm just gonna point to the numbers. So requisition, when we presented in January, that was at 259. So it's down about $13,000. So the first piece of that, Tia, just correct me if I'm wrong, the net for the removing camps was about 4,600? Is that right?
4850.
4,850? So of that 13, about 4,850 was taking camps out. Now, to remember, S218, just so we know, which is the SVYCC, I don't have in the Salmo rec portion of this. It's in the area, it's in our service committee.
The next meeting.
The next meeting,
No,
because technically S218
that's right.
belongs there, unless we kind of just change things up. So that changed. The team did a lot of review of salaries. Oops, geez, I think I'm on this computer. The team did a lot of review of salaries, which is it was just 5101. But I just made one mistake. I want to just go through 49100, which is prior year surplus. This is where that requisition is changing from. And so what that means is, especially coming out of COVID, I had that longer view in the last meeting. This is the number that's changing, and why it's changing is because during COVID, like especially as we were coming out in 2022, 2023, we were budgeting for more full operations, and whether it be restrictions when they came off or those kinds of things. When we don't operate, when I actually have employees not working, that actually saves us money. So that generates surplus. If you look at that increase, 212 to 246, that's $34,000. That's the change in requisition. 35,000 is the change in surplus. So what that means is that the operating expenses and our expectations actually haven't changed. When I went back and I did an analysis, what happened if we had regular increases over that time? This amount might be about $6,000 or $7,000 ahead. So like more than that. But that comes into, for example, this year, we have funding inside the budget for maintenance of the pickleball and the tennis courts. We never had that before. We have, it's not a big number, but we have the extra hour. In particular, what's really, that real change happened in aquatics. So even when we did open, we had not as much aquatic staff. So that as that staffing grows, as we start to get back to our numbers, this changes. So there's still work here. Like I know for Trish and for Sam and for Tia and Craig is going to be discussing, do we take admissions again? Those kinds of strategies still need to be placed, but that's really where this is not consistent. Again, especially if we look at salaries right here, the budget in 2025 was 158.9. Budget this year is 161.2. Salaries this year came in at around 137. That real difference in salaries was canceling some camps last year, some aquatics, but other than that, the salary budget has actually remained incredibly stable. Yeah. So what you're going through right now, when it comes to that requisition amount, which is what the public will concentrate on, it's not really an expansion of service. It's really that It's really the fact that we're actually accomplishing what the budget is there for. It's just that that surplus is decreasing because of it. So expecting next year for that to hopefully hit zero. That means that everything that we plan to run ran, and all of the work that we plan to do is done. There's one other piece of revenue that might drop that requisition. We're just waiting for the grant. Well, it's not really a grant, it's more of a donation from the Salmo Valley Pool Society. That amount might be more than what we had budgeted. If I get that into the system before, then I'll change that budget. That might drop it another $2,000 to $3,000.
And this will be the last money from the Salmo Pool Society.
That will be the last night that they've emptied their bank. They've emptied their bank account to us. Just to know what that's funding what we have identified as capital, which is line 60,000. Sorry. Which is 13,500. So that donation should balance that piece almost up to zero. Right now, we've only budgeted 10, just until I actually kind of conservative. I like to see it in the bank before I count on it completely.
How much change, will this be changed at all? How much will change are you looking between now and the end of March, eh? No, that's all I know.
Yeah. The big thing for this service, so the two bylaws have gone through that have expanded S225 and S230. The next step for Trish and for Craig is to work on those bylaws getting amalgamated. Hopefully that work will be done with both of you as directors and get sent down to the ministry, and then you can retire.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll retire first. You can
Not
retire.
there.
And then that, I think having that as one budget will be very helpful. I think over the next number of years, communication with SVYCC has got to continue, because we have the building, which is the old school, but we still have a tremendous amount of work on the pool to do. And so we've got to start mentally trying to figure out how we're going to do that, because they're high value assets, but they're also expensive. To note that the other thing, so check this. Yeah. The other new expenditure is that money for asset management. So that $2,400, if we were last year, requisition would be $2,400 less.
So why was it 5,000 at that meeting?
Well, the funny part is there's two different I don't know.
Oh.
But sorry, so
So
Diana's
now
talking
you
about,
understand why it was so huge.
Different document.
yeah, at the Artie's, shouldn't be different. It's just, you probably don't have everything. At the meeting, what was being shown in when they were presenting that budget, I think they had 7,000,
5,000,
5,000.
because we were more than some halls and we've done a bunch of work.
225?
So there was a period where all of the community services fees to asset management were higher.
Yeah, I think it goes.
And myself and Craig in particular argued that the methodology. And so eventually those amounts came down.
What, generally speaking, is the methodology for determining?
So
Easy.
to making sure that it is, the calculation is based upon the value of the asset, the number of assets in the service, so that number of capital assets in the service, so there's a total value. And then there's Salmo Rec might have 1,000 individual assets
Mhm.
in it. Where, the NDCC might have, 10,000 individual assets in it. So it's a balance of both of those. And I think over time that's probably gonna be something that's gonna get changed as methodology goes along.
Well, yeah,
So,
if I might, excuse my interruption.
Yeah.
Why don't we just add all Salmo's assets and we'll pay on it? I said, whatever rate they want, 5% of the value of those assets or whatever, just say,
oh, yeah, it'd be a lot more.
well, 2%.
Yeah.
But let's say, you know what I mean? Pay a 13% of those assets and everybody else also pay the same percent on their assets.
Well, because, because there's two different things that are going on.
Mhm.
When you just use the value of the asset, so what is asset management? Asset management in this case is a person entering in information. So my argument is whether that asset, if I have two roofs, I got a counter roof. This roof might be worth $50,000.
Mhm.
Roof on SBYCC is $70,000.
Okay.
The actual work to record the asset is the difference between a 7 and a 5. So that work doesn't change. What is required, so this, because remember that piece is the administrative work. The actual amount that needs to be put away, that amount is different.
Mhm.
To get to have enough money to whatever that philosophy is, whether it's that we have enough money to fund 50% of it or 75% of it in real today's dollars. That is gonna be, that's the big question for the board. That number is very different for every service. So the big,
Some assets, there's all.
like NDCC is probably an $80 to $90 million building today.
Yeah.
So what that looks like will be very different than the outdoor pool and the gymnasium. Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, and with the fire department, we can't do asset value upon life because a lot of it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, but you still have the building, like, and so like that's,
Yeah.
like in terms of fire departments, we have very strict things around CBAs, fire trucks, those kinds of things, they have deadlines.
Okay, let's talk about that at the next meeting,
Yeah, good.
because this meeting's gonna be over here pretty soon.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions on this?
Well, that was my question. Thank you.
Yeah, the asset management. So I just wanna clarify. So we've gone basically down in requisition, we've gone down $6,000 total.
No, we've gone down $13,000 from the last.
Well, not really, because we added 5,000 in surplus. So,
That's right, but requisition went down.
right, okay. And you're saying that the count was 4850,
Right.
okay? Just so so our expenses went down 12,000.
The expenses went down, sorry, the expenses went down and the revenue went down.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hello, everyone.
Oh, hello.
okay. Anybody? Andrew?
I can see him. Andrew, he's good. I think that's all good.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
I'm good.
excellent. So we will go to public time if nobody has anything else. It's 7:39. And I believe we have Observer and Cheryl Cook. We'll start with Observer. Do you have any questions for us? Hearing none, we'll go on to Cheryl. Do you have any questions for us? I'm good, no questions. Okay. So our next meeting will be May 11th. And looking for adjournment.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Andrew, are you opposed? Do you want to stay on?
Andrew, we have a few minutes before the next meeting. Was there a question you were gonna ask?
He was just slow.
Oh, okay.
Putting his hand up, that's all. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for staff for
Great.
finishing that all up for us. Sorry for the little bit of confusion. The papers.
I apologize.
No.
Just minutes on to make the meeting shorter, and then be about half the pace, be about half the time.
Oh, you could have one.
Joe, did you get your picture? Good luck with your next meeting. No?
Not a thing.
No,
Not even thank you for trying.
Nope, even just cares if you got your money. So the only good thing about it is that,
They always. What time are you starting? 1:45?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need us, right?
No, but everybody's allowed to stay.
Susan, we are gonna talk about SG-1A, so.
So I'll just go anyways.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted.
No, it's fine.
He's like, no, it's
For
fine.
next year. And, generally, and the service has, especially if there's questions, this would be the time to do it. For example, we're only given 2%, but really, you know, the roof was falling in and we'd like 5 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I have other questions with regards to, I really appreciate the asset management moving along and the facility assessments that are happening. And I'm curious to see how that lands in budgets. And then I'm really curious about where the trust sits with all this. Because if this isn't about social benefit in communities, I don't know what is.
So you know what the trust would say in this case is that is the role of government.
That's right.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, guys. See you on the next meeting.
Okay, we're moving to the other link.
Thanks.
They have a lot
Oh,
of.
sorry, thanks, Alana.
I hear that, and I understand it, and I